Hi, my name's Tyler Duguay, and I have the unique honor today of two things. One is to be one of Max Wood's fantastic grandchildren and his great-grandchildren. And the second is to be reading some memories that we have of our Grandpa Max. So the first one is going to be, my favorite memories with Grandpa Max are from camping at Interlaken. We would spend hours every day sitting by the fire. Grandpa would always have a cup of coffee in his hand, no shirt, and a laugh that would shake his entire body. I'll always remember his laugh. My memory of Grandpa Max was hearing him practice his cornet in our basement and having the sound fill our entire house. I would run downstairs just to go watch him play. I have many memories with my grandpa. We spent a lot of time with him when we were kids. Every time we were in the car with him, the car automatically turned into McDonald's. I can also never sing the B-I-B-L-E song the right way because Grandpa taught us to sing it as the Bibbly-Ibbly-E song. I can also remember combing his hair and putting hair clips in it. Grandpa never wore a shirt. Grandpa loves his flowers, especially his many rose bushes. I remember also competing with him to have the better tan, and he always won. Grandpa was always supportive of the grandchildren. He and Grandma took me out to dinner every time the Insiders were in Florida. We had great times talking about Army banding and when he was in the Citadel band leader for my first year at CMI. Our multiple times at Disney World with him and Grandma were priceless. Grandpa was the biggest coffee pusher there ever was. He always tried to get us to drink coffee at a very young age. As soon as we would agree to drink the cup of coffee, he would always warn us, "It'll put hair in your chest." In more recent years, he couldn't keep up with all the hustle and bustle of Christmas time get-togethers, but he would just sit with a cup of coffee and smile. He was so happy to hear all the laughter, conversations, and chatter as our family had gathered together. In elementary school, Grandpa gave me weekly cornet lessons, and I absolutely hated it. I never practiced, which made Grandpa very disappointed. But at the end of every lesson, he always told me he loved me, and I had to pay him with a kiss. Looking back, he was investing his times and talents to encourage me to be a better musician. Over the past week, I've read numerous tributes from so many people. A lot of them I don't know. As an adult, I now realize how many countless lives he touched through music and by living his life as an example of a true Christian. I always knew that Grandpa was a good musician, band director, mentor, etc., but to me, he was just my grandpa. In 5th grade, everyone was required to play an instrument in school, so to follow in the footsteps of the best musician I knew, my grandpa, I wanted to play the cornet. So the summer before 5th grade, while Grandma and Grandpa were staying at our house, Grandpa gave me a cornet lesson. He wrote down all the fingerings and told me to practice. Then went, sat on the couch, and watched news with Grandma. But I was absolutely terrified to play in front of Grandpa because I knew how amazing he was and how absolutely terrible I would be. So as I sat there not playing, from the couch he said, "I don't hear any playing." So I told him I was going to practice in my room. I went to my room and was like, "I'll just take a nap to get out of it." But since I didn't know what to do with this cornet, I took a bunch of pillows and made a throne and set his cornet on it. I ended up playing cello in school. Just a couple more. I think my favorite memory of Grandpa was when I was graduating from high school, and Grandma wanted to give me a watch as a graduation gift to wear for the graduation ceremony. Grandpa and I went around to 2 or 3 different stores to find the perfect one. Then we had to get the band size correctly and had to go to another store for that. It was just the two of us driving around, and he wasn't from the area, so he didn't know where he was going, and I was just out of high school and didn't know what to do either, but we had a lot of fun that day together. I wore that watch every day until the gears inside of it broke, but I still have it on my shelf at home. I have never known anyone who has affected the lives of so many people the way Grandpa has. I've always been proud to be recognized as Max Wood's grandson. Waking up in the morning to the smell of fresh coffee meant we were with Grandpa. It's still the first thing that comes through my head when I wake up to that smell. It's a tiny bit of Grandpa that I will have for the rest of my life. My favorite memory of Grandpa and Grandma is going out west and camping for long periods of time. And I'll always remember him conducting, and I thought that it was amazing and fantastic. When I think of Grandpa, I think of music, conducting, and humor. I will always remember that whenever we visited him, my dad would say, "Anna's here," and Grandpa would always have a big smile on his face. With that, I just want to say one thing. These memories that I read are just a small fraction of the memories that we all have of Max Wood. He was a special man to a lot of people, but to us, we had the special privilege of calling him Grandpa. Thank you.